Welcome to Cost Saver Conversations. I'm Angela, and I ask the practical questions so you can quickly understand what matters. Today, I'm joined by Assad.
Hi, Angela. We are unpacking Beyond the Hype. Calculate your true renewable energy ROI for smart home upgrades today and tying it back to the wider cost saver ecosystem, including tools like Renewable ROI Calculator, so you can turn insights into action quickly.
Just a heads up before we dive in, we are your synthetic hosts. We are great with numbers, but as AI, we can sometimes be confidently wrong. Think of us as the digital versions of your most knowledgeable, slightly caffeinated friends.
Exactly. Treat this chat as a smart estimate only, not as professional financial guidance. Always check important details with official sources or a qualified expert before making any big decisions.
Welcome back to the podcast. So today we're tackling something that I think is on everyone's mind right now. Renewable energy, smart home stuff, all of that. Is it actually worth it? Like, really worth it? I've got Assad here who's going to help us figure out the real numbers. Assad, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, Angela. Yeah, with energy prices being what they are.
Exactly. It's mental out there.
Oh, it really is. And look, everyone's talking about solar panels and smart thermostats, but then you hear these horror stories about people not getting anywhere near the savings they were promised, which is, well, it's...
It's terrifying, honestly. Like, you're about to drop thousands of pounds, and then what if it doesn't work?
Right, right. So here's the uncomfortable truth, and this is what keeps me up at night sometimes. The average UK household, they could be overpaying by $400 to $800 every single year just by not optimizing their energy setup.
Wait, hang on. Every year?
Every year. So over a decade, that's potentially 8 grand. 8,000 pounds that could be, in your pocket instead of your energy suppliers.
Jesus. Okay, that's actually, when you put it like that,
Yeah, it's different, doesn't it? And the thing is, well, the thing that makes renewable energy ROI so tricky is it's not like buying stocks or whatever. Your return depends on so many factors: where you live, how you actually use energy, whether your installer knows what they're doing. And crucially, this is the bit people miss: how well you integrate smart tech to make everything work together. Get it right? Brilliant, genuine long-term savings. Get it wrong? Years of just disappointment, really.
God, that's depressing. Okay, so let's start with the money bit then, the initial costs, because that's what scares everyone off, right? What are we actually looking at for, say, solar panels?
So solar PV systems are still the most common thing people go for. A typical 4-kilowatt system, that's about right for an average UK home. You're looking at 5,000 to 8,000 just for the panels.
Just the panels?
Just the panels. Although prices have actually dropped quite a bit recently, that's something at least.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay, but there's more, right? The inverter thingies and...
The inverter thingies, yes. So you've got 3 main options there. String inverters are cheapest, but here's the catch. If one panel gets shaded, it affects all of them. It's like old Christmas lights, you know?
Oh, God, yeah.
Then you've got microinverters, which are pricier, but each panel works independently. And power optimizers are they're the middle ground. And then installation labor, that varies massively. Depends on your roof, how awkward it is to access, all of that.
Right. And I keep hearing about batteries now. Everyone's talking about battery storage, but that's another massive chunk of money, isn't it?
It is. You're looking at 2,500 pounds for a basic 4-kilowatt-hour unit, all the way up to, 8,000 or more for a premium 13-kilowatt system. But, and this is important, they let you actually use way more of the electricity you generate instead of just selling it back to the grid for peanuts.
I hadn't thought about it like that. So it's not just about making the electricity, it's about keeping it?
Exactly. And then smart home tech, a Nest or Hive thermostat, that's another $150 to $250 with installation. Energy management systems, maybe another $200 to $500. It adds up.
Okay, that's a lot. Any tricks for keeping costs down?
Oh, absolutely. This is crucial. Get at least 3 quotes from microgeneration certification scheme certified installers. I cannot stress this enough. Prices can vary by 30% or more for literally the same system.
30%?
I know, it's mad. You could save $1,500 or more just by shopping around. It's worth the hassle of getting multiple quotes.
Wow, okay. So once we've spent all this money, and it is a lot of money, how do we figure out what we're actually saving?
Right. So the big one is obviously your energy bills. A decent 4 kilowatt system in, let's say, the Midlands, generates about 3,400 kilowatt hours annually. If you use half of that directly, which is pretty typical, and export the rest, you're looking at $400 to $600 saved per year at current prices.
That's actually not bad. And this smart export guarantee thing, does that really pay out?
It does, yeah. So energy suppliers have to pay you for what you export. Rates are currently 3p to 15p per kilowatt hour, depending who you're with. Some even pay premium rates during peak times, it's quite clever, actually.
So you're literally selling electricity. That's kind of wild when you think about it.
It is a bit, isn't it? And here's something else. Property value. Research shows homes with solar panels sell for 3% to 4% more.
Really?
Really? So on a 300,000 home, that's an extra 9 to 12 grand. That's not nothing.
That's definitely not nothing. God, I had no idea it was that much. And then there's the stuff you can't really put a price on, right?
Yeah, the intangibles. Energy independence is huge for some people. I mean, with everything that's happened with energy prices lately. And if you've got battery storage, you're more resilient to power cuts. Plus, the environmental bit. A 4 kilowatt system saves about 1.5 tons of CO2 annually.
How much is that in real terms?
It's like planting 70 trees every year.
Oh, that's lovely. 70 trees. I like that.
And smart thermostats. Look, they actually make your home more comfortable, not just cheaper. They learn your patterns, adjust automatically. Most people say their homes feel better after installation.
Okay, so we've got costs, we've got benefits, but you mentioned something earlier about the time value of money. That sounds complicated.
It's not too bad, honestly. Basically, a pound today is worth more than a pound next year because of inflation and what you could have earned investing it elsewhere. So with long-term investments like solar, you need to think about the discount rate, usually 3% to 5% for home improvements.
Right, so it's what I'm missing out on by not putting that money in, say, stocks or whatever.
Exactly. And then there's the payback period. How long until your savings cover the initial cost? For UK solar, typically 8 to 12 years. The shorter the better, obviously, because then it's all profit after that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. Can you give me a real example, like with actual numbers?
Sure. So Sarah from Bristol, this is a real case. She spent £7,500 on a 4 kilowatt system in 2024. Annual savings about £520. Simple payback, roughly 14 and a half years. But, and here's where it gets interesting, factor in the $2,000 property value increase, use a 3% discount rate, and her net present value over 25 years is about $4,200.
So it does make sense financially.
It does, but it's more modest than what some of the marketing suggests. You're not going to get rich off solar panels, but you will save money long term.
That's really helpful, actually, being realistic about it. Now, the smart home stuff, how much does that really boost things?
Oh, it's massive, actually. Smart thermostats alone can save 75 to 150 annually. But the real magic, and I mean, this is where it gets exciting, is integration. You can shift your high consumption stuff to when your panels are generating. So your dishwasher, washing machine, EV charger, they all run on free solar power.
Wait, so my dishwasher would know when the sun's out? That's actually brilliant.
Yeah, exactly. It dramatically increases your self-consumption rate. Plus, when you can see your usage in real time, it changes how you think about energy. You see exactly what that tumble dryer is costing you, and suddenly the washing line looks more appealing.
Huh, fair enough.
And remote access is just, forgetting to turn the heating off before a weekend away, not a problem anymore.
Oh, God, I've done that so many times. Okay, but what about the worries people have? Like, will solar panels wreck my roof?
No, honestly, when they're installed properly by Microgeneration Certification Scheme certified pros, they actually protect the roof underneath.
And you get warranties for both equipment and workmanship, so you're covered.
That's reassuring. What about maintenance? Is it expensive?
Not really. Solar panels need minimal maintenance, maybe an occasional clean if they get really dirty. Most come with 25-year warranties. Inverters last 10 to 15 years. Budget maybe $100 to $200 annually just to be safe, but it's really not much.
Oh, that's way less than I thought.
Yeah, people assume it's this huge ongoing cost, but it's really not.
So, if someone's listening and thinking, okay, I want to do this, where do they even start?
Right, so first, gather your energy bills from the last year. See what you're actually using and when. Then check your property. South-facing roofs are ideal, but east-west works too. Use an ROI calculator to model different scenarios.
You mentioned a calculator earlier?
Yeah, we've got one that it basically cuts through all the marketing nonsense and gives you personalized projections. Takes about 10 minutes, but it's worth it. And then, this is crucial, get those 3 quotes from microgeneration certified installers. Ask questions, get references, don't let them rush you.
Don't let them rush you. That's important.
So important. This is a big investment. You need to be comfortable with it.
Okay, so let me recap this for everyone. We're talking about getting accurate costs, calculating realistic savings for your specific situation, thinking about both the money and the peace of mind stuff, and really maximizing it all with smart tech. And that calculator you mentioned, that sounds genuinely useful.
It really is. Look, with energy prices being what they are, I mean, they're not getting cheaper, are they? The sooner you start planning, the sooner you start saving. Even if it's just running the numbers to see what's possible.
Right, even just knowing what's possible.
Exactly. Knowledge is power, as they say. Or, in this case, knowledge is solar power?
Oh God, that's terrible. But seriously, Assad, this has been incredibly helpful, like properly eye-opening.
My pleasure, Angela. Honestly, if it helps even one person avoid overpaying or make a smarter investment, then yeah, job done.
Brilliant. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Quick side note, this guide connects with other cost-saver blogs, especially Best Smart Thermostats UK 2026, Best Smart Thermostats Guide, and Free Ways to Slash Your Energy Bills this winter.
Exactly. And reading those together gives you a fuller picture of safety, energy costs, and long-term affordability before you choose a postcode.
And if you want to apply this immediately, jump into tools like Renewable ROI Calculator right after this episode.
Primary sources used here include energy-saving trust, solar panels, and off-gem smart export guarantee, so you can verify the data yourself and stay evidence-led.
That wraps this cost-saver conversation with Angela and Assad. If this helped, share it with someone house hunting so they make safer and smarter money decisions.
Your next step is simple. Try Renewable ROI Calculator, then read Best Smart Thermostats UK 2026, and use both together before committing to a move.